My name, like it says, Adrian Milsap. It's Adrian Milsap. And good morning, Centenary family. I am going to try to stick to my script because as the labor people that I work with know that I'm bad with that. So first, let me thank Pastor Caldwell for allowing us to connect faith and labor, centered around this year's Worker Labor Day. Okay, I do want to start giving you an update by talking about the Blue Oval Project in Tennessee, as I talked about a few times before. Now, the bigger project is taking place here in our backyard, right, out in Stanton. But the smaller Blue Oval battery plant is in Kentucky. The UAW filed an election for SK in Kentucky to unionize. The workers there recently won their election. Okay, that's great. That's great. Now, that's great news, but the one thing is the company isn't prepared to walk away without a fight. Okay, so that's going to happen. But those workers will continue the fight to get their contract. So that's a great thing. Okay, hopefully it'll be coming to, we'll move from there. We haven't gotten word yet that we'll move from there. We'll come to Tennessee, and SK, Blue Oval SK in Tennessee, hopefully will be next. Okay, great. So we know workers do not win without standing together in solidarity and partnering with faith and community partners to fight for big wins in the workplace. Okay? So today, we thought it was important not only to give you updates, but to ask you to be real partners in these fights that workers are taking on today. Very important. We have several speakers lined up to talk about local fights that matter for all of us, and they will ask you to take some action around these fights so that in the future we don't just talk about what's happening, but we report back on the wins that Centenary took part in. Okay? So I'm going to turn it over to Sweetrika Baker. She's with the AFL-CIO Memphis Labor Council to introduce you all of our guests. And all of our guests, please keep it around 2 minutes, which I'm terrible at doing. So, all right, thank you.
Good morning. We will definitely need to adjust his mic today. How's everybody doing? Awesome. We're getting ready to start our Labor in the Pulpit. Thank you all for welcoming us. Reverend Caldwell, thank you so much for providing this opportunity and allowing us to do Labor in the Pulpit multiple times throughout the year. But this is very special to us because of the labor movement. We just had Labor Day, which is something that labor people fought for, and thank God that we did, right? So we're taking this time this morning to introduce a few labor people in the community. I also want to acknowledge my president, Kevin Bradshaw, who is here this morning. The first speaker that is going to come up is going to be Rebecca Gorbea. She is with Tennessee for All, and she's going to share with you some information about union ID programs.
Good morning, everyone. You're right, we're going to have to do some adjusting. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Pastor Keith Caldwell for all that you do for labor, and a big thank you to all of the folks from the AFL-CIO who are here, who worked so hard this Labor Day weekend. It was an incredible celebration. But I will stick to my 2 minutes, so I'm going to get started. My name is Rebecca Gorbea. I'm the statewide coordinator for Tennessee for All. Tennessee for All represents labor unions, community organizations, faith organizations like Micah, and we're fighting for a Tennessee for all of us, not just the wealthy few. And before coming here today, I did some reading, and I read a Bible verse before coming here today, in which Jesus says, "And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened." Amen. And today I look at our country and our state, and I see so many people struggling in poverty, so many ills and are in pain. but I'm comforted by the people around me who keep pushing, who keep praying, who keep fighting for a world that we all deserve, and a world where there's peace, there's justice, there's harmony, and people who have the courage to be idealists in the world that we're in. And so I have two opportunities to share with you all if you want to join hands and continue fighting together. One is that we know that we are stronger together. There are wealthy and powerful few that may have a lot of money, but we have a lot of people. Unions bring two things together. That's people and money, and that equals power. We need stronger unions in our state to build a state for all of us, and we need more people who have a better workplace, better pay, better health, a better life, and being part of a union. And so I'm here to share with you about what we're calling our Union ID program. I've brought a bunch of flyers here today. We're starting this program where anyone who is struggling in their workplace and wants to find a way to speak with their coworkers about forming a union, that they can fill out this form and they will get contacted by the Central Labor Councils across the state. So it's not just only in Memphis, it's all over in Tennessee, because we know we need to grow union density in this state. We know we need to grow worker power in this state. And it starts with just taking one simple step. So I really hope you join me. If you have neighbors, if you have a business that you can put this at, we want to spread this far and wide. The second opportunity before I finish up is we are having a town hall here at Centenary on October 1st. It's Communities Not Corporations Town Hall, because for too long corporate greed has run the show and we are taking our power back. Yeah. So this town hall, Keith Caldwell will be there, Reverend Keith Caldwell, and so many others from labor and faith and community, and I hope you join us on Wednesday, October 1st. Thank you so much.
Just want to clarify that it's going to be at 6 p.m. on October 1st. Next, we want to bring up Jessica Buttermore with WIN, Workers Interfaith Network, and she's going to come up and share an action with you all.
Good morning. Thank you for the invitation to be here today. I got it. Thank you. So I'm Jessica Buttermore with Workers Interfaith Network. I'm the board chair of WIN. I just want to say today, the conditions in Memphis, nearly 1 in 5 of our neighbors lives in poverty. And almost 1/3 of our children in Memphis are growing up without the economic security that they need and deserve. Meanwhile, corporate profits continue to rise, and too many of us struggle to put food on the table. And so it's because of these reasons that WIN exists. And WIN's existed since 2002, and it has united people of faith, labor, and low-wage workers to stand up for dignity, fair pay, and safe working conditions. And we believe that everyone deserves work that honors their humanity, not exploits it. And in WIN's efforts, faith communities have been at the heart of our mission. And historically, we've been sustained by at least 22 unions, up to 23 community organizations, and many faith-based groups. And today we're reestablishing the work of WIN. It's been in a hiatus for about 8 years. And the solidarity of organizations like yours is one of our most important goals, and makes it possible for us to train workers, to build bridges between congregations like yours and unions and their workplaces, and to fight for justice, for fair wages, and protect labor protections. So I invite you today to stand with WIN, stand with the families and neighborhoods who are struggling to survive, and demand justice in our workplaces. And so at the end, I just have like a email list for you to sign up for to keep abreast of like what WIN is doing. As I said, we're just rebuilding after a long period of time, and that's all I have.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear from Mr. T.J. Greer. Mr. T.J. Greer is a retiree of the Iron Workers Local 167, and he was actually one of the first Black iron workers to organize here in Memphis to be brought into the union. And then next, you'll hear from Glenda Lewis with UAW retirees.
All praises to God, who is the head of our lives. Thank you, Reverend Caldwell, for allowing us labor people to come into your house of worship. I want to, first, as being the first black iron worker, I just want to share this with you right here. And I want to take a moment. I truly stand in honor to stand before you today. I'm proud to say that I am the first black iron worker to complete the apprenticeship program here in the city of Memphis. When I started the journey, I didn't set out to make history. I just wanted to work hard, provide for my family, and master a craft that has built the backbone of our city. It's bridges, it's buildings, it's skyline. But along the way, I realized that every step I took was opening doors for others who would come behind me. Ironwork has been good to me. It has given me a career built on strength, determination, and pride. It has given me a brotherhood of workers who know the meaning of trust, teamwork, and perseverance. And it has shown me that no barrier is too strong to be broken and no ceiling too high to reach. To those coming up now, young men and women who may feel the odds that are stacked against them, I just want to say, don't let fear or doubt stop you. If someone tells you it can't be done, prove them wrong. In the past, look too hard. Remember that hard work builds character, and character builds success. I may have been the first, but I know I won't be the last. Together we can keep building steel and concrete, but with courage, opportunity, and hope. And one more thing I have to say is about the TVA privatization that TVA, our city leaders and people are trying to do. Okay, TVA mission is public service, not profit. TVA was created to provide affordable electricity, manage natural resources, and support economic development in the Tennessee Valley. A private company would be driven by profit, not public good, meaning higher rates for customers and less investment in the rural and low-income community. Affordable power could disappear. TVA keep electricity rates relatively low compared to the national average. Privatization would likely lead to rate hikes since private owners will want to maximize shareholders' return. Rural communities would suffer most. Many of the Tennessee valleys are rural and don't have the same competition of infrastructure options as cities. A private company could cut service, reduce investments in grid reliability, neglect rural development altogether. The environmental stewardship could decline. TVA manage dams, lakes, and river systems that provide flood control, navigation, and recreation. The private company may not prioritize these environmental and community responsibility, focusing only on profit part of the TVA portfolio. Job loss and economic harm. TVA is a major employment in the region, support tens of thousands of jobs indirectly. Privatization could lead to layoffs, outsourcing, and reduced economic stability for local communities, and the risk of monopoly power. A private TVA could become a monopoly utility with little oversight, especially since TVA covers such a large, unique area. Without federal accountability, there would be less transparency and fewer protection for the consumer. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. What an honor. We will have a petition in the back also for you all to engage with after service to stop the privatization of TVA. Next, we have Ms. Glenda Lewis with UAW 2406. And she's been a part of multiple UAWs. And then next, we will have Ms. Dolores Rivers, one of your own, who works with teachers, MSCEA. All right, thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Reverend Caldwell, for allowing the labor unions and to be in your building. I want to say women are opposite this morning. Amen. I just found out it was Women's Day. I am here to talk about retirement, but it takes more than 2 minutes to talk about retirement. First of all, Glenda Lewis, retiree from General Motors, still active in the union. I was president here in Memphis for over 12 years, so Local 2406, and I am union to the bone. I wanted to speak to you guys about 5 years before retirement, okay? Because it's very important. If you can do it 10 years before retirement, it's good, and it may not even be enough, because it wasn't enough for me because COVID came along. If you can save as much as possible. When you start thinking about retirement, cut away everything that you don't necessarily need and put that money into your PSP, your 401k, your Roth IRA. Put it somewhere to fall back on, because believe me, you're going to need it, okay? Also, those of you who don't own your home already and you plan on retiring but you want to buy one, buy that house before you retire. Because when you retire, depending on where you're retiring from, if you don't have a pension, your income is going to go down tremendously. So you want to get that home before you retire. Okay? Now to the task at hand. How to stay busy once you retire, which I don't have a problem with that. Okay? I volunteer. You can volunteer through your church, food pantry, your city where you live, you know, get involved with labor movement, us, you know. Your neighbor is on strike. If you got some free time, go to that strike line. That's right. There are power in numbers. Yes. When they see all these people out there with these signs saying, you know, with the thumbs down, that is power. We need as many people on the strike line as we can get. Okay, you can get involved with the senior centers. Okay, stay involved. The Boys and Girls Club. And we know that Memphis needs that. Not saying Mississippi don't, but, which is where I'm from, okay? But Memphis needs that, and I do more volunteering here in Memphis than I do anywhere else. The volunteer state has had me for 17 years of free labor, and I will continue. Okay, there are soup kitchens, there are nursing homes for people that are left behind. Go and read to them, you know. They will truly, truly love you for it. Join a senior dancing group. If you need somebody, I got somebody for you. I got a girlfriend, don't do nothing but line dance. Also, if you're 65 or older, join a SPAR. You can join it for free depending on your medical benefits. There was one blessing God gave me when I retired. I have a free membership at a whole bunch of spas, which I really don't have time to go to because I'm too busy volunteering. So yeah, go look through your through your healthcare provider and see if they offer that. Also, I'm a former believer in digging up the ground. Okay, I gotta wrap it up. Digging up the ground. Look, grow your own vegetables, flowers, and save money in the summertime. Anyway, I've enjoyed talking to you. And Switcher could have my information if anybody want to know anything else. Y'all be blessed. Thank you.
She told y'all her life. She is a busy woman. If I need a volunteer and it's her last minute, she says yes. Almost every time she says, oh, okay. But this woman works very, very hard. She does a lot of work with Miss Ruth Rollins, Feed the Needy. I have to point that out because her and the retirees, Evelina Warlicks and Jill, who is not retired, but they get together and they work hard together, but they have fun and they make work fun. So I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that work that she does. There's so much that she does. Yes. And you know, we have to be honest, a lot of retirees, y'all be busy, and that's a good thing. So we want to keep that going. Next, we have Sister Dolores Rivers from MSCEA. And behind her, we'll have Victoria Terry with Black Workers Center.
Good morning. This is my home church, so I get 2.5 minutes. Just kidding, Pastor Keith. When Pastor Keith asked me to extended the invitation to speak on labor in the pulpit, I was like, why? And he said, because you're over at Teachers Union. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So thank you, Pastor Keith, for acknowledging that and allowing me to speak today on this important issue. Faith, people of faith, lifting up the value of work and workers. So that is very important. So many times, you guys know teachers are overworked and underpaid. They are often asked to do more with less, and often the needs of the children and the educators are drowned out by politics, budget cuts, and bureaucracy. So I am reminded of a verse in Proverbs 31:8-9 that says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves and defend the rights of the poor and the needy." And when teachers are given manageable class sizes, resources, and things that they need, pay, students thrive, schools become stronger, and the communities rise. So we at MSCEA are uplifting the voices of educators who work day in and day out, often in the face of violence, trauma, and other issues, broken systems. So we want to support that and be a part of raising them up. I'm getting a little off track. So many of them, our support staff, they work long hours and they still struggle to meet their needs. As people of faith, we are called to stand with the oppressed, to do justice. And justice means, and you've heard a lot of people say it this morning, justice means fair wages, safe working conditions, dignity on the job, and their voices being heard. Yes. And just as the labor movement has always said, an injury to one is an injury to all. So we recognize that justice in education is connected to justice everywhere. You can't remove schools from their neighborhood, and you cannot talk about educational outcomes without addressing and talking about poverty, racism, and inequality. So today, this Labor Sunday, may we continue to labor in love and in faith for a better tomorrow. Thank you. And I also want to recognize Ms. Mildred Williams, the Vice President of MSCEA. Thank you for your unwavering support, Mildred. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. Another person that is very busy behind the scenes, Miss Rivers. We're going to bring up Miss Emmeline Rogers. It's going to come up. And if we could have the campus workers actually come stand behind her, I would love that if you got some more folks that want to come up here. And we are reminded, it's 2 minutes. We'll have Victoria Terry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emmeline Rogers, and I am a library assistant at the East Shelby branch. Thank you all so much for having us here in this historic space. I'm truly honored to be here and to be speaking here. Library workers need your support. A supermajority of us is seeking to unionize so that we can ensure that our voice is heard as we advocate for our city. When I first took a job at the Humanities Department at the Benjamin L. Hooks Library, I had no idea what being a librarian meant. I expected to spend my time becoming well acquainted with the Dewey Decimal System. Instead, I walked into a space designed to serve. Every library worker I encounter in our system has mastered the skill of listening to our patrons and responding not just to their questions, but also to their need for humanity. We love the people we serve. Daily, librarians across this city help people build their first resume, whether they're preparing to apply for college or in their 80s and having to supplement their income. We are all familiar with the look in a mother's eye when she comes in with her babies in tow, asking for help escaping a domestic violence situation. We know our unhoused patrons by name and do what we can to look out for them when the weather gets bad. I have never seen the soul of my hometown better than I do when I am at work, and never have I been able to love my city better than when I am helping someone at the library. Library workers are tired of being classified as political appointees and are asking the city council and the mayor to give us the right to civil service protections, which will provide us with basic workers' rights and allow us the right to unionize. We've got a petition and we'll be collecting signatures after the service. Thank you so much for your time and for your support.
And next we have Victoria Terry. One is not new to the labor movement and to any movement. She is always active in moving and doing great things. Come on up.
Good morning. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you to Pastor Keith and all the clergy members, and thank you to Sister Tiffany for inviting me today. Again, my name is Victoria Terry, and I'm with the National Black Workers Center, and we are currently incubating a Black Center in North Memphis through the Klondike Smoky City CDC. What we want to do is to collect information from the community and see where everybody is in terms of how things are going in the workplace. We just want to make sure that nobody is being discriminated against, and if they are, we can do whatever we have to do to help those people. I have a flyer here with the QR code on it, and we are collecting surveys, and once we finish collecting surveys, we are going to launch and open our center at the end of October. We see everything that's going on in our city with XAI, poverty, And these are all issues that we want to address. You know, poverty is a policy issue, so we're really focused on policy and how we can hold our local officials accountable and making these greedy corporations pay what they owe to the people that work for them. So, thank you. So I had these flyers. I would love to give them to y'all. It would be so helpful if y'all filled out our survey, because the more surveys we get, the more information that we'll have, so that we can have campaigns that are designed for our city. Whatever the people need, that's what we want to address. So thank y'all. God bless.
Ooh, that was a long 2 minutes for everybody, everyone. But that's okay. Pastor did not let me stop adding people to this list, so I'm sorry. He let everybody come. And we appreciate that as well, because where there is labor, we see our pastor, which is a good thing. And they appreciate him as much as we do. So thank you for the invite. President Bradshaw is very similar. I met him in 2015 in Baltimore, Maryland, where we were doing a training together, and he had so much energy in the room, and none of that energy has died. And everything Swatrika asked him to do, he just say, okay, yep, and he give us a little money too. So we appreciate that as well. I'm gonna make you a cake for that. And then to my husband, happy birthday, baby. Thought I was here. And thank you for letting me work you this weekend. But there is more work to do. So as Adrian said earlier, we didn't want to just have people doing reports. We want action to go with this. And so people have said they had flyers and they had QR codes and they had petitions that they want all of us to participate in. And so after service, we have some refreshments in the A.J. Cox Hall for everyone to come back and sign the petitions that you are interested in, you can do all of them, you can do some of them. We hope you do all of them. We also have Ms. Glender here, who has the Feed the Needy program that will be ran in September, October, and November that we can join in. So thank you, and see you after service.
Is that it? All right. So to folks who say, what does labor have to do with going to church on Sunday morning? Is anyone asking that question? So we know that Memphis has been the dubious honor of one of the most violent cities in America, right, by the Department of Justice. And we know there's a direct correlation. When there's a drop in poverty, there is a drop in crime. And so labor is the #1 way for folks to gain access to resources and opportunities. This is a deeply spiritual matter, and the church and the black church and labor have always worked hand in hand on this. In fact, Reverend Lawson had the sanitation workers here in 1968, and T.O. Jones and labor was so powerful to have that happen, and it changed the face of labor for a generation, moving it upward. So we just want to, let's give a hand clap of praise for everyone, thanks to everyone who showed up.